Hello, good evening, and welcome, as an old presenter used to say. I don't know how many people are going to tune in tonight. And as I always say, that if one tunes in, it'll be a very short broadcast. If a load of you tune in, it'll be a very long broadcast. I'm looking at doing about an hour on here, and card readings and a bit of chat. I've had some wonderful feedback, some wonderful support over these last couple of weeks. And I'm just asking for it all to continue. So grateful for everybody sort of tuning in. And I was just going back through some stuff that I'd done previous. So the Facebook thing there, got some notification to look at from Facebook in their infinite wisdom, and then saw that I'm only 13 not subscribers, because that's YouTube, isn't it? But 13 people short of the 2,000. Now, I've got to say, but when I started this about 4 or 5 years ago, when I did the business course and set this page up, I wasn't sure what to expect. I just thought, well, some it'll come in, it'll appeal to some and it won't appeal to other. And I'm absolutely fine with that, because I'm that kind of guy. I've just got that passion to help people and drive forward. And like I keep saying, good evening, AD, you all right? And I just keep saying the same thing and repeating, because a lot of what I repeat sticks. And it's wanting to help people overcome obstacles that they've put there in their own path. So that when you're going through stuff, don't look for reasons not to do it. And one of the realizations that came in today was that I've had over the years, well, in fact, from being the age of 15, I had difficulties with anxiety and depression and things like that. And I've always looked for a cure. I've always looked for a way of sort of blacking out that part of my past. And I'm really, really passionate now about just being open and honest about it, that depression and that anxiety has actually formed part of this sort of structure that I'm putting together, because I know what it's like to be at a real low ebb. I know what it's like to really struggle. And I'm case in point that you can get past those dark moments, but you've got to want to. And that's the big thing. It all depends on how you manage your mind. So I've been looking back and I've been casting a critical eye over some of my work. And I'm not going to be critical, because I'll come back to it in 10 years' time and look at it and go, oh, that was what the early starts were like. I might have learned a bit more. But I think the core values and the basis of the work that I do will go on long after I've gone on. And if I can sort of promote other people to find out their best results and their best resources, then I'm chuffed to bits. So I'll say a few hellos, because we've got a few on YouTube and a few on Facebook. The idea with this as well is like a promotion and a push. So I've now gone up to 121 subscribers on YouTube. And say 13 short of 2,000 on Facebook. So I thought, well, we'll do a joint one. And the only reason that I didn't do a joint one the other week is because you get charged for what you store on StreamYard. So I was trying to conserve my hours. And anyway, I thought, bugger it. Let's just throw caution to the wind and let's just see how many people tune in. Because all of it is about upliftment. So my last couple of days, what we got there, hi, watching you through the telly. Wow. Yeah. Liking it. So I'm a TV star in somebody's mind for a bit. Yep, happy days. God help us all. Evening, Claire. Hiya, Sam. Yeah, and I've just sort of come on and do a few card readings. There'll be people that will stick with me through the end. And there'll be people that will get off pretty quick. That's absolutely fine. This is what this channel is about. It's about welcoming everybody coming in. You're entitled to your opinion. Set out me warning things there along the bottom, that the business page that I work from, I cannot send friend requests. So if you get friends requests from anything on the business page, it's not me. If you get anything like, hi, hum, I'm drawn to you, please send me your details for a free reading. That isn't me either. So get in the habit of, when you see these things, block them, get rid of them, do whatever you need to do. You techie people out there, smash them, get rid, because there's always a few lurking about. But the lack of integrity, my lesson from them is that I need to start learning not to react to them. But I'm me, I find them irritable. So, hiya, Lisa. Hiya, Kirsty. So the idea tonight is to just come on, do a few card readings, just update you. just come back from Saturday from house party readings in Stockport. So I spread my brand of whatever it is that I do up there. Cleethorpes at the weekend, where I wasn't so busy, but what an opportunity to eat tea and biscuits and come home with a couple of quid in my pocket. So all's happy. And then today I've had the fortune of reading for what I would consider a potential star rising once she gets herself sorted out and aligns herself with where she needs to be, because a lot of the readings and the work that I do, what I tend to find is you've got the information there. Sometimes it just takes that while to pop it open. I'm passionate about all of the work that I do. And then I look at, I do the tarot because that's what I'm advertising myself. But the urban angel part of me is helping people increase the confidence, but backing it up with reality of knowing what it's like when you can't face up to an audience, or you suffer from lack of confidence, or you have those panic moments. Right? I've been there, and I'm still sat here in front of you saying that, you know, anything's possible. Your mind is your only limitation. Rick Paul has seen on TV. Yes. Thank you, Adi. Appreciate that. Saw you in Tadcaster. Brilliant. Thank you. I'll just highlight that. So that, I mean, Tadcaster, right, for me is a long way. So I've left some sort of mark on people, and that is what it's all about. Because even if you take just like the tiniest bit from me and you put it into your own lives and into your own context, this is not about me proving to anybody about anything. This is not me saying, oh, please worship me or anything like that. This is just to prove that we're all working with energy. We've all got that potential. It's just that sometimes we have to come to decisions at our own speed and in our own level of understanding. Because my version of working with spirit is that spirit are non-judgmental, and they're also non-coercive. So they'll work in conjunction with you. So often when we're going, oh, the timing's not right and this, that, and the other, it's just down to us. It really is down to us to put the intent out there and do the works to enable those doors to open. Oi Oi is a legend in the making. So I'll put this appeal out. I mean, this gentleman here has got loads of subscribers already, but he's on a different mission to me, where he wants to get involved with the partnership program, which I don't know too much about, but I'll always give him a shout out because he helps people with all aspects of fitness, mental health, encouragement. So we have a bit of a laugh and a bit of a banter and things like that, and swap some stories. Go and look at his channel, because him and Mel are absolutely amazing, and they're embarking on this pathway. Me, this is just my channel for pushing for people. I've got no grand designs about taking over anything or doing anything in partnership with. I just want to get people moving forward. That's just my whole reason for doing this. Right, so thank you very much. Good evening, Jackie. Right, let's see where we're going. I'd love a card. Right, do you know what? I'm going to start so I don't get too lost in the comments. So for those of you that are joining me new, I will warn you that I do my level best to keep up with the comments and scroll through them and catch people. I don't just read for people that I know. I get through as many as I can in the time that is I'm allotted. And what I've realised is that the more people that you get on, the shorter the readings get. So these are just taster readings. They're just, so I've got two decks of cards with me, my Josephine Ellishaw, which I always work with, and the angel cards there where I have got Stephanie King. So I'll always put that in there. So we've got a few going through there. So I will do my best, as I say, guys. So I'm going to get on with it. Hi, Trish. So let's see what we've got. So good shuffle, and I'm not that great at shuffling cards, but to be fair, it doesn't really matter because they're quite lively. All right. So 3. So this will be quick. So 3 cards. Right. Interesting. So at the end of this part of whatever it is that I'm going to give you is celebration, completion. Now, to get to that completion, I'm looking about by the end of this year. I've said quite a lot to people about the harvest period of this year being postponed while the world's energy settle. So it gives us time to sort out the things that are going on around us. Now, if I got 2 cards in combination that were giving me a warning of sorts about how people are occupying my thoughts and my mindset in a not so positive way, then these are the 2 that I look for. So I've got the 5 of Swords and I've got the Seven of Swords. They've both fallen out, and bearing in mind that the cards have been well shuffled there, and for them both to come out, that is saying to me that there's an element of people around you that you need to get rid of, or at least disregard their opinion and withdraw your energy from. You know, they might be getting gobby, they might be being disrespectful, they might be pulling you to pieces or eroding at your confidence. I'm quite blunt with this. I think that these type of cards are what I would call dickhead attractors. When you've got people around you that are being less than respectful of what you're trying to achieve. I know you personally, and I know what a lovely person you are. So I also know how empathic you are. But sometimes we have to put a bit of steel in place. You know, when we're being pushed backwards, right? Stop, and then call these people out. And if they're not willing to change the ways or engage them, I just walk away from it. And I've said this consistently over these last few months, that since I turned 50, somebody's desire to have an argument or pull me to pieces will always outweigh my need to get involved with anything that's difficulty or argument or discord or anything like that. I just don't want to get involved anymore, so I won't. So the seven of swords is about sort of deceit, and the Five of Swords is being in a battle situation. And if you just look at what the picture's telling you there, you've got somebody around you, or, you know, even if it's on a social footing, that doesn't care about how they get the victory. So this is theft of your time, theft of your energies, and it's people there that lack respect. And you look at the bodies in the background, and what they actually signify is people there that are what's known as collateral damage. So as long as I win, I don't care. So if you saw these as hurdles and problems and obstacles to overcome, which I always talk about swords as representing, then the way that I deal with my problems is that blue is all about communication. And sorry about the dogs barking in the background, guys, because my wife and son have just gone out and left them on their own. So they're now protesting. So this is talking about being clear with your communications, backing people off and giving them boundaries, right? Giving them instruction and setting your line in the sand. But you've got the world at the end of it. So the world is all about completion. It's about the end of the tarot journey, and we'll incorporate all of those lessons into them. So it's one of those. It's not rose-coloured glasses or anything like that, because you've got issues to sort out that's going on around you currently. But you will be okay, because by the end of the year, you'll be stood in your own light there. There will be no reason for not going forward. You will be proud, chest forward, stuck out there, and being prepared to bring in the bigger projects next year. So I'm not saying sit on your laurels and sit there and expect everything to come in easily, because it won't. It always requires work. Talking to me about at the moment about working on your confidence as well. So work on your confidence. Keep that consistency going, because confidence comes from repeating successful processes over and over and over again. So victory is at your fingertips. You've just got to start trusting. Right. Let me have a look. So I'm going back up the card list there, and hopefully I'm going to the moon. Hopefully, Mel. Hopefully, Mel. But I tell you what will happen. I'll be taking people with me, because that is, I truthfully believe that is my blueprint moment in life, that I want to, you know, by using all of my skills. So even if it's daftness, even if it's taking the piss, having a bit of banter with people that gets them out of a little bit of a funk, gets them to look in the mirror and see themselves as the beautiful and unique, talented people that they are. And then that in turn sends out a bit of light to somebody else and lifts them out. Then I'm absolutely thrilled to bits. I'm really honoured about it. Right. I'll be truthful with that, mate. I don't know how to do that. So I might have to speak to you afterwards with that one. I don't know how to do that. So that might be one of my lessons. All right. So as I'm scrolling down here, guys, that's the next one that's come in. I'll keep going backwards and forwards as far as I can, but just please bear in mind that I don't always see all of the comments, because the flash through that quick. I will get in as many as I can. I've got these are flying out in threes tonight. Right, Jackie. So 3 cards. Oh, yeah, it's interesting. Right, so moving on emotionally. 6 of Swords there. This is when things have been unsettled for a little bit. So this is almost, I feel like, licking your wounds a little bit, where you're taking time out to take some healing on board. When we've dealt with battle situations, when we've dealt with arguments and upheaval and things like that, and things that have occupied our thought processes in our mind for a long while, they tend to leave a mark. Now, a lot of people will just go, "Oh, it's all right, it's fine, I'm okay." Right. I always advocate now that when you've been through any stressful period whatsoever and you've come through it, is to take a few deep breaths and get yourself settled so that you're back on the road again. It's almost like saying that if you came out of hospital, have that period to convalesce, get yourself ready, and then gently get yourself back on stream, and then get up to full speed again. It's about moving on emotionally. It is about pushing on. Swords are all about matters of the mind and the intellect and how you think. So there are communication issues around you, I feel, at this moment, Jackie. So it's now saying to you that things are on that upward curve, but take time out to heal. So we've got the Knight of Pentacles, because that's fallen out as well. So that is wealth, money, finances, and improvement on finances as a result of wise planning. So if we set this in now and said, right, there's things for you to look at financially, what you're investing in, how you derive your money, your wages, your whatever brings in your upliftment needs an investment in, and they need sorting out and they need looking at, because this is the only one of the Knights cards that doesn't require direct action. This is sort of planting the seeds. And I normally put this like at the end of a reading, because it just says, right, the work that you've done recently will pay dividends in the long term. But I'm feeling with you that this actually needs putting in place now. So the seeds even need planting. So whatever it is that your long-term aspirations are, we need some investment in. Is it going to be okay? Well, I like the clarity of this because I've got the Magician card there, and the Magician there, we've got the Pentacles, which is finances and money. We've got the Wands, which is practical in your life. And then we've got the Swords, which is all about your thoughts and how you process information. And then we've got the emotional Cups. And the thing is with the Magician is it's magical in timing. It's like everything's just there for you to grab hold of. So don't get overwhelmed by choice. Take time out to evaluate your decisions, but make sure that you're planting and planning for the future as you go forward. Right, so let's keep going. We're all going to the moon. Yeah, bless you. Thank you very much. Right, serendipity. Let's keep them going. Thank you very much, new subscriber. Appreciate that, serendipity. Very much appreciated. Welcome on board to my haphazard way of working, but that's me. And I make no apologies for it. Well, that's interesting. Right, I'm going to pull an angel card as well for clarity with that. So the card that I pulled for you is the Six of Swords. It's the same explanation as I've just given. And the weird thing is I shuffled those, put that into the middle of the pack, shuffled it, and it's fallen out again. So with you, same sort of thing. It's time to move on emotionally. It's time to take stock of that for you in the last 4 years, where there's been lots of things that have been going on around you that have caused you pain. And I feel that sort of mentally occupied space in your head. I'm one that is an overanalyst and an overthinker when I'm on my normal everyday life. And to be truthful, it gets exhausting. So sometimes I just have to go out there and do something silly. You know, I go out there and take the dogs out. I'll go out in the garden and clear up the garden and do something. I mean, even if I went into the shed and listened to my radio and banged nails into a bit of wood for a bit, it just releases that. I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to do the other. And I find it cathartic when I do it. So if you've had a lot on, as I suspect, in these last 4 years, this is now saying to you, it's now time to put that to bed, not put it behind you, because I'm not a big believer in that, because I believe that if you don't deal with things in the now moment and somebody says put the past behind you, then you can kind of get bogged down. That if you're triggered again at any point by something that you've not closed off, it will cause you more pain. So the art of communication is needed. I'll get my own teeth in the moment, needed with you. So I don't know whether you work with a lady in spirit. I don't know what you do for work, but this is what my guide is coming in. Now I'm very, very drawn to this lady's cowl, her hood, her covering. So when I'm saying that, I don't know anything about your serendipity, but I'm very, very grateful that you've joined in. Right, is it time for you to step forward and shine your light a little bit more and put yourself onto that higher platform? We've already spoken there as on the comments about going to the moon. So what is going on? Is it time to now to step out of your comfort zone and push yourself forward? Time will tell. Right. And there is the card there. Now, the rejection card is not as dark as it seems, but when I'm dealing with people that have said some comment, said something that's upset me or upskittled me, as I would call it, and knocked me a little bit, it's all right having all of this skill set where you go, do you know, I know how to process that. I know how to deal with that. I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a the other. Right. In that moment when that pain hits, you need a time of respite to process it. So I received some feedback not long back that knocked me, right? Confidence was just like, oh, is it worth me carrying on with this? Because it's upset me, truthful. And for 2 hours, I was flat as out, and there was all sorts of thoughts going around me in my head. Am I good enough to do this? Can I trust that I can get the results that I'm looking for? Or should I just pack it in? So after a while, what I decided to do is deal with that head on, push through it, and just went, right, big boy pants on for me in that moment. I am going to now deal with that. I've had my 2 hours where I've whiffled a little bit and I've got myself tightened up and stressed and all of this lot. Right, tomorrow's just another day. Because that feedback came out of a percentage that was hugely in my favour. So I'd focused on the bit that had knocked me. So I dealt with my rejection. Now, that black there is a great protective covering while you get yourself in order. But I've got the song by Cyndi Lauper, I believe, that is singing True Colours. So just maybe, well, I'm not just maybe, I'm a bit of a pusher here. So I'm going to push you. It's time for you to come out of that comfort zone and shine your light like the star that you are, and just take off that hood. So I hope that makes a bit of sense for you. Right, I'll keep going through here, guys. Right. Right. Excuse my crap singing. Right. I just love music, you know. I had, this shows how old fashioned I am. Right. I can't believe that this card keeps falling out. I'm going to throw it away in a minute. I am passionate about music. I have got a very eclectic taste, and I'm going to show my age now because I had an iPod, right? And the iPod had got all of this collection of music on, over 1,000 songs, and I've travelled up and down the country driving and had this fantastic accompaniment. Well, now that they've shut all of the streaming things down for that particular piece of kit, I was like, I don't know how to work my phone to put music on. I've got all of the things. I just need teaching with it. And I went back to an MP3 player, right? And I found an old cable and I plugged it into my car and it all fired up. So just recently, I have been singing my heart out to some of the old songs that I put down in the early 2000s. And as I say, I wasn't into any particular genre of music, but the memory links as it's gone back has been fantastic. So in that respect, it's been nice to have that trip down memory lane. I have to be careful that I don't get too bogged down in memories, because then that stops me focusing on what I need to be achieving right here and now. So anyway, digressing slightly. Teresa, stop whittling about money. And if you're not quite sure, because I don't know where you're all from, guys, but as I say, grateful for you tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button for me. The Two of Pentacles, for me, is all about juggling. It's all about keeping things in balance. I think as well with you, from what I'm being told, it's keeping that in your mindset balanced as well. So don't be overly concerning yourself about stuff that doesn't need that much attention to it. I liken this card. So if you imagine you've got somebody spinning plates, they've got 10 or 12 plates spinning, and it's an art because you're running up and down and you've got the plates spinning. You keep them spinning, and then one of them starts to slack because you just look into that corner and timing's just a little bit wrong. So you run to that corner and you don't quite get there quick enough, and that plate falls off and starts to wobble. So you're looking around and going, oh my God, all the rest of it's going to wobble now and fall down because that one's crashed. Well, what I see with this card is, right, you don't need to worry. Concentrate on the 10 or 12 plates that you're successfully spinning. Maybe that one that you've dropped, or that mistake that you believe that you've made just recently, was there to be dropped anyway. It needs to be got rid of. Two of Pentacles is telling you that there are decisions that need making over finances. So if you're looking at jobs, if you're looking at investments in things, weigh them up carefully, right? But don't use procrastination as a reason for not seeing the job through. So the 2 there is, for me, is about picking choices and going down pathways and aligning yourself with whatever you want to achieve. And then as we go into the 3 and upwards, what we're looking at there is solidifying that decision. So you will be successful as long as you don't keep worrying about stupid crap. Right. 5 of Swords has come out again. So we've had that 5 and that 7 that's coming out. So people, if this is a collective and this is an idea that's coming around us all, because that's what the 3rd time that card's come out in a few readings, and I am shuffling the cards, trust me on that one, that weed out the selfish people. Right? I will never say to people about get into an argument or anything like that. But what I will say is when you get idiots around you and people that waste your time or are rude or disrespectful or put you in a position where you feel that you lack confidence and you can't be your true self, cut through that cord of energy with them. Just stand there and just go, okay, you do what you need to do with this piece of information, but leave me out of it. Because I know that people who tune in with me tune into my vibration. I'm not selfish. I don't put my own needs first. And I would never trample on anybody to get anywhere, because I think that there's enough energy and enough worldly stuff out there for all of us. So I don't invest in ego. I don't invest in, oh my God, that person's better than me. Oh, I need to cow down to them because they know better than me. Right. They haven't had your life's experiences. So nobody, and I mean nobody, has got the right or the qualification to sit and judge you in any way whatsoever. And if you buy into that, you're just wasting your life's hours on something that you can't change. So I just turn around to them and go, right, thank you. I said time and time again when I'm on stage as well, if people like me, great, because that encourages me to do a lot more work and keep pushing on with this task I've set myself. And I say thank you, because I want to do better. If somebody thinks that I'm a dickhead or I'm not good enough, I say thank you, because I want to do better. So for me, it's win-win, because I always think that when somebody pulls you down, it's very rarely about you, right? It's normally about their insecurities that they can't solve. So they look round and they find the easiest target to dump their crap on, right? I'm not a waste recycling place. So your crap's your crap. You take it wherever you need to take it. But don't let people pull your lovely energy down. Have the confidence to say, this is me. And the rules of coming in around my aura are that you treat me with respect. You talk to me in a decent way. You don't shout at me. You don't push me. And if you don't understand that I need to take my time while I process certain information, then so be it. Don't be around me. Don't hold yourself to ransom on behalf of other people. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense as we're going. Right, keep going through here. Hope you well. Love some. Right, let's just keep going through these and get through as many as we can. So I'm scrolling down, guys, but as I say, just bear in mind, please, that I've got a lot on tonight, which is unusual for me. So it's a new thing there, and you're coming in. And I really appreciate that. So I want to put on a bit of a show for you. And this was another thing. The other night, I was given a message by another medium that said, don't keep saying that you're there for show. Right. In this environment, guys, yes, I am. But I'm also here for service as well. I've got enough energy from the universe and spirit to give out as much as I can. So while you're sat there, you might start to feel different sensations of healing coming through. You might start to feel a little bit of clarity coming in, because this is what I've been told since I got back from Stonehenge, that it is my role to pass on that guidance. So that's going to awaken people. I was told last night in a really, really vivid dream that it is my job to help people retrieve their souls. So bits of you that you've left behind in other realms, other lifetimes and things like that. Now, there'll be people out there that will listen to this and laugh at that, right? Well, that's their business, right? But I know that from going from the point of the black and white, solid thinking place of being a prison officer to being this now, what I'm doing, there's been a massive gulf, right? All that I knew and all that I understood in that region of thinking has gone. Right? I don't need it for this part of my life going forward. So all of this stuff that I'm now being told, I've just got the confidence that I will utilize it and learn how to use it when I meet the right people. It's almost like you are that conduit, and when you sit there with that person, then it will come to fruition, whatever it is that you need to do. So it's one of those that I truthfully don't know all of the answers. And I like a laugh and a bit of a smile and a bit of upliftment, even if you just come here and look at my strange dress sense. But it's got you here, so happy days. All right. So, Lewis, another one there. So this is like female energy, and female energy is more nurturing. So queens are, I call them gaffers. So queens and kings are bosses, people that get things done. Very, very earthbound, very, very able to make decisions and get things sorted out. So ladies' energy as well is more nurturing. So you would bring in that sort of understanding. You would talk to people, you'd negotiate with them. So maybe it's that carrot and stick scenario that you might need to change some of the ways that you're working at the moment with people when you're looking for the results that you're getting. Maybe we don't need to be so driven and so push it hard in there. We need to have a little bit more understanding of how you work, how you approach people, and the responses that you're getting in response to that. So the Queen is a lady there of material. Bloody hell, I've got somebody else's teeth in tonight. Is a lady of material security, but she hadn't just happened upon that. She's had to work for it. So there's something there where maybe that you've got to utilize your skills and talents a little bit more, but embrace the sort of feminine aspect of it, right? Like there'll be people on here, and I think Hutch should probably back me up on this, that that when you're in certain environments, the expectation is that you've got to be tough. You know, males there have got to be out there a little bit caveman-esque and things like that, because that's that role that we've agreed to play. That's all well and good while it works. And then, like, when I came out of the prison service, that's all I'd known for 12 years, that you can't show any signs of weakness. Don't show any signs of emotion, because it's almost like showing a dog. If you're frightened of it, it'll bite you, right? That sort of mentality. So this is about now embracing that gentle side of yourself. Something else for you to look at, your creative side, that's going to make you more money, but things need putting into place to get that organized. So maybe there's somebody there that's a mother figure, or somebody that you can sit down from a female perspective that will nurture you and guide you through there. Because it's almost like I want to kind of like douse that masculinity in you and just go, come on, we need to sit down there and talk about it, communicate, and get these feelings out into the open so that this can clear the pathway so that you can make the money that you're looking at making. Are you going to be okay? Well, we've got top of the shop there with the 10 of cups, and the 10 of cups is a bit utopian. It's a bit of an idealistic thing, but it talks about happy families, reunion, matters around the household being solidified. You know, it's a lovely base to build on. But with you, we've got old crap to process. So the orange there is all about the sacral chakra. So the sacral chakra, for me, I visualize it like it's the waste chute where we get rid of any old problems. We listen to our intuition and we process any of the rubbish that goes around there. And then we start to put codes in for tapping these codes in to unlock the solar plexus, which is all about creativity. So you've got some very real ground earthbound work to do to open up your creativity. So the suggestion is with it, use the sort of divine feminine energy, which is a little bit softer rather than the bull-headed, like crashing into things. Okay, so I don't know why these are coming in like this, but I'm just going to give that as well. So, and also, gentleman's energy just before I leave you, Lewis, that is saying practice makes perfect. I don't know what that's in regard to, but that is the message that I'm leaving you with. Okay, thank you very much. All right, guys, I'll keep going there. I'll say I will have a right. So yeah, we've got the first Dilbert in. Right, let me just block them. There we go. Let's get rid of that. I love it. Right, all of these wonderful people when they come on, and I'm not going to go on a massive long rant with this, But it does make me smile that they come on and they're so wonderful at what they do, and yet they don't do it on their own. They jump on the back of somebody that's got a small audience. So how does that work? And I don't know who that's being aimed at. Get a grip, you prat. If that's aimed at me, well, that's not happening. So, ah, dear, bless you. Can I have a reading? Yeah, so we're going there. Dun, 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 dun. Right, we'll block them. So thank you for that, guys. Keep coming in with the comments. For some reason, mine seems to have stopped there. So we've deleted that and blocked it. So hopefully that'll catch on it in a minute. Let's keep going. Right, I am determined not to get deterred by these wallies. Right. Because that is my learning lesson, because that has been the whole reason why I have not done a lot of work on Facebook, because it irritates the crap out of me. So I have been temperamental over the past, and it's not towards like I need to be acknowledged or anything like that. It's purely down to the fact that I'm on here to help people, and I have got little time and little patience to keep reading through silly comments like that from people that are going, "Hi, hon, piss off, get off my live, go and set your own up, go and play in the middle of the motorway and count cars. We'll do something useful." But I'm not going to get ranting, I promised. Right, so 2 cards for you, Juliet. So the 8 of Pentacles there for me is new training, new ways of learning, new ways of doing things, money, finances, and how you derive your income. So something there that probably needs a tinker with, needs changing. I always look at that card, right? So there's potential there. The work seemingly being done at night time, where they're sat in front of the desk sort of burning the midnight oil. So this isn't saying that you're going to go full time suddenly into a college course and abandon everything that you do to make your wages. But it's saying there that if there's something that you're really passionate about and want to get off the ground, maybe we need to consider where our hours are going work-wise and where we can sort of fit in some sort of new training to bring in more money. So if you like looking at promotion, if you're looking at changing jobs or things like that, I want to say to you in my mind there that it's about research and making these changes now start to have form rather than just be floating around in your mind. I know you're going to be okay. Absolutely. Well, that backs it up lovely, because I'm just trying to get that in the right light there, because that is predominantly yellow. Ascension basically is very, very simple. It means going up and on the rise. So to get that, we've got to unlock that solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus chakra is all about nurturing, guiding, shining your light, bringing things into being and giving life to. So lots of things coming up for you to make a decision on. So no procrastination is the message for you. Coming out of a little bit of a funk there and reflecting by all means, because I'm one of them. And like I said earlier on, that I overanalyze at times, but there comes a point where you've just got to put things where they need to be. So maybe 1 or 2 issues around you that have clogged your thoughts a little bit. Be honest and draw a line underneath them and say, right, what can I do to affect this? If I can't change it, then maybe it's time to just like leave it where it is. Fill your recycling bin up and get rid of it. Ask Mother Earth to take care of any stale energy around you. But ascension, so on the rise over these next few weeks for you as well. So I'm being told. So look at the next 6 to 8 weeks for making progress. And if you think about that logically, that's when the new school terms will start to come in, new college courses, new night school things and stuff like that. Or maybe it's just something that you want to set up for yourself to help to teach people and guide people. Lots of love coming in from a couple in the spirit world there. I don't know whether I've got like Nana and Grandad or whether I've got Mum and Dad, but there's 2 people coming together that are showing me coming in together. I'm being shown wedding rings, so I believe that they're married. They're coming in, they're giving you a lot of love, a lot of encouragement, and a lot of gratitude for what you helped them through. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense, and I'll keep moving on. Thank you very much. All right. Oh, it's all changed again. There we go. Let's see. All right. Kelly, thank you. I would have took it. I've got broad shoulders. I've been to the gym once or twice, but thank you for looking out for me. But it's true, isn't it? Get a grip, you prat. You look at Hutch. when he started, I remember watching some of his stuff when he'd only got the same amount of subscribers as I'd got, and he's grafted. And him and Mel have worked to get it up to that level. So that shows dedication. I'm at 120 subscribers and nearly 2,000 followers now on Facebook. But that's been done over 5 years. So these people, when they think that they can just come and jump on here and then take, other people's energy, right, go and do the hard work. Because that says to me a lot about their character. If they're going to go on here and get people to part with their cash or their information and things like that, I just can't get my head around how people can sleep like that. But then again, I'm old school. I don't know anything about all of these spammers until recently. But, this is where my sense of humour comes in. For all of you that are spamming on there, I hope your next shit's an head jog. Okay. So I've said, not going to rant. We're not going to get nasty about anything, but that's the truth. That's what you're dealing with. Somebody there that's got a foul mouth, that he's doing his level best to hold on to it and keep his cool. But every now and again, that veil will slip and I will reveal something that can't be taken back. So by all means, put your comments on and I'll smile sweetly and say thank you for participating. But underneath this table, there's a certain amount of fingers being raised. Right. Mother's energy there coming in for you, Judith. I don't know whether mum's in spirit or whether we're talking about the need for mothering. I love the Queen of Wands because the Queen of Wands is, for me, is an everyday housewife lady type of person that is a superhero. When I read the definition in the book, when I got this pack of cards, she's the lady that keeps everything turning. She's the home fire, the home fire's burning. She'll get 3 meals out of two and things like that. Everything that she's got has been worked for. Now, the reason I'm going down this route is I think possibly that the message is saying to you that you've got as far as you've got in your life by doing certain things. Maybe you've just got out of the habit of doing the things that work for you. So there's an element of tiredness around this card. There's an element of exhaustion. So I wrote a message on somebody else's profile earlier on today, and I want to pass this out as well. And I hope you think about this and consider this, that when we're working and pushing ourselves into the ground, we need that element of self-care, right? And self-care and self-preservation is not a luxury. It's a necessity. So all of these people that are going out there and giving everything, giving all of their energy and that to other people, every now and again, just take a step back. Do you need a holiday, Judith? Do you need somewhere to go and unwind? Do you need to go and get your hair done or go on a salon trip or something like that? Go and have a luxury spa day somewhere, but look after yourself. I'm working around somebody in the spirit world there that passed with the heart condition there, because my heart is like pounding like mad. And I also use that indication to work around the heart chakra. And the heart chakra is all about emotions. So there's something there that possibly that your heart isn't in. There's something there that you possibly need to communicate about. And there's stuff there that I feel also that you need to come to terms with. It's almost like I want to empty it all into the rubbish bin so that I can actually clear my head. So there's a feeling with you, Wands, that something around you practically needs an adjustment, needs changes. But like I said on the earlier one, that Queens are all about gaffers. They're all about bosses. And because we've got the lady there that is feminine energy. Sorry, I'm just losing my words here. Feminine energy. Then it's nurturing rather than direct action that's required. There are changes for you to look at making as you go forward. But when we look at that there, the red is the root chakra. So this is going a place of building, rebuilding, or putting your energies to. So I hope that makes a bit of sense for you. Have you got a card? Yeah, we've done that one, haven't we? Keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm newly subscribed. Let me just have a look. Can you tell me about Caesar Sagittarius intentions for me? Truthfully, no. And not in any rude way or any disrespectful or anything like that, Michelle, purely because I don't know what that sentence means. I'll draw you a card by all means, but I don't understand what that means. I'm sorry about that one. All right, so Card for you. Well, I don't know whether this links in with what you're asking me, but I don't change things to suit. But I was drawn to that comment there. So the 10 of Cups is about family completion. It's matters around the home. It's everything now being in a place. I always think it's a bit idealistic. I said earlier on when this card comes out, but things don't settle down just by chance. They require work. I mean, when I look at the grass in this card, it's quite long. So the long grass signifies for me that it's taken a while to get to this point for you and getting things sorted out. So what are your expectations now going forward emotionally? Are you committed? Do you require more commitment from somebody else? Do you require answers? Have you seen something out there that you feel uncomfortable with that is not presenting itself in its honest and true light? The feeling around you is that there's a slight blockage with the communication. So the only way that you can get around communication blockages is, like, can we have a chat? You know, for me, it's always over a brew. Sit down and that chills me out. And if you're not sure what a brew is, anybody that's tuning in from abroad, that's me with my big mug of tea. I sit there and then I can start to process. It keeps me calm and I can help work through any issues. So emotionally, the intent there with that is completion. It's loveliness. It's a settlement of the family and a happy household. So I hope that sort of gets in there a little bit, because truthfully, I don't understand what that means, and I'm not being dismissive or anything like that. So I hope that makes a bit of sense. Just gonna put it's just get a grip, you prat. But the thing is, the ironic thing is with that, Kelly, that's what I'm telling myself. Come on, stop tripping over your words. Get a grip. Oh, bless you, Tracy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, hey, amazing. Right, let me have a look here. See you. May I have a card reading, please, and thank you. Do you know, that's lovely. That just shows how we were brought up. I mean, me, Ermine boy, Lincoln, dragged up, but proud of it as well. No airs and graces with me, so I have to work because I've gone into churches and things like that. And I say to people, right, I'm as rough as oak. My background is I was a butcher for many years. I was briefly in the, I'm going to say briefly, I was saying this to Hutch last night and I don't think they quite believed it. I did 6 weeks in the junior leaders in the army. Worked in shopping factory environments where the language, shall we say, is a little bit fruity and a little bit coarse. And then, of course, prison officer for 12 years, any language is acceptable when you're dealing with people that are aggressive with you. So I then go into these church services and places there where everybody's ultimately respectful. And I'm gone in there and I'm effing and blinding. And I have to ram the brakes on because I don't truthfully mean to do it. Because I've always thought that if you swear a lot, it just shows you up for being a little bit ill-educated. That if you can't have a decent amount of vocabulary, but I slip so easy, and there's times where I say something and it's gone out of my mouth before I've even had a chance to rake it back in again. So I'm doing my best, guys. So thank you for commenting. Appreciate that. So the card for you, Julie, is the 8 of Swords. Now, swords for me, hurdles, problems and obstacles to overcome, matters of the mind and the intellect. Blue is about communication. So the reason for your blockages at the moment, we look for the most simplistic answers to these cards, to any issues that are presented to us. None of these swords that are representing the problems actually physically touch this lady. So she's surrounded by her own thoughts. They're not actions, nothing's being taken, so it's fairly static. So what we're looking at, the solution for this problem is that if she takes her blindfold off, her blinkers off, and looks at a wider viewpoint, then she can change her perspective. Settle the emotions when the emotions sort of overtake the lateral thinking mind. So this is almost like I'm saying that your inner being needs a meeting and get yourself settled down. The chain that represents around there is loosely bound. So she could come out of that mindset if she changes her way of thinking and thinks more positively. So again, not lecturing you or anything like that, because I wouldn't dare. It's not my right to. But sometimes lateral thinking, when the emotion starts to override us, what do I need to do? Right. for me, quite simply, if I get into that state of panic or unease or anything like that, right, where is the evidence for all of these things that are going to happen badly? What's going to happen if I focus on this little bit first and get this sorted and out of the way? Well, the answer is you will get a little bit more peace. So maybe it's just a case of calming yourself down, calming your mind down a little bit and having some lateral thoughts. Maybe there's stuff there that just needs letting go of. Gentleman in the spirit world, just before I leave you, that's just giving you a big pat on the back to say, well done for what you've got over the last 4 or 5 weeks. Don't know what the relevance is with that, but wherever you're going and as you move forward, he's coming with you and he's offering his support, his love and his respect for you as you make your way along that journey. So try not to worry too much, okay? So thank you very much. What is your first name? Right, okay. Inbox me now for more videos. All right, okay. How about new? Right, let me just block this Wally. We've got another one. So bear with me a second, guys, because I am a little bit of a technophobe, but I do my best for these. But what we're going to find is that as I'm using Facebook and YouTube, I will be moving the majority of my work to YouTube because you don't have this problem, because I can assign a moderator and we can have all of this ridiculous comments removed from it. So I'm asking guys that are coming in on the Facebook, if you wouldn't mind going over onto YouTube and subscribing to my channel, because I am looking at doing work there every Monday. I will drop in the odd one on Facebook, but it becomes frustrating and distracting when you're trying to work with genuine people and people like this keep coming on. Yeah, and it is really, really frustrating, but I don't know how to manage it any different. So I'll keep going because it's as quick as you get on there. So I will have somebody rob my oh my word, somebody rob your wheelie bin. Now here's an absolute superstar. Hiya, Kirsty. Looking forward to being at your event at the end of the month at Chesterfield. I've already got people booked in for readings for that, so I'm so excited, and it's a lovely environment. And we get a cup of tea and a bit of cake and a natter. So yeah, it's amazing. Oh yeah, look at this. This just shows about connecting in with people and the influence that you have on people. Right, I did petticoats in Grantham middle of last year, and there's people still connected. I'm just thrilled with it because it just proves what I said earlier, that people there remember you. They're not remember everything that you said, but they do remember you. And I just feel so privileged. Right, I'm just getting rid of as many of these. Yes, very calming, pragmatic, and no nonsense. Yeah, this lady knows what she's talking about. And as I say, I keep plugging it because I love spending time watching their things on the fitness hutch. When we talked about going to the moon, they really are. I think it was 1,600 subscribers. And that's all come in through hard work, persistence, and dealing with trolls, not responding, finding a constructive way around the problems and supporting people at every level. So they're now attracting interest from the biggest subscribers in YouTube. So, I mean, I put a shout out. I mean, I don't know whether he'll ever come on mine, but when I go and watch on his stuff, Trevor Cole got 87,500 subscribers. You think I'm straight, John Bull? This man's an absolute legend. But he took time out of his busy schedule to mention mine. So if you look at Trevor Cult, the YouTube, if you get the right people together, are a right family. And that is what I'm looking at doing, is bringing my family together around on YouTube. It really is such a privilege to connect in with everybody. And the thing is, I never, ever take it for granted. Never going to get big-headed, because the thing is, straight away, I will always remember having that one subscriber, which ironically enough was Hutch. So please, can I have 10 cups of tea? Absolutely. I'm in our house. We've got one of these pint pot mugs, Samantha, and I'm going to fill that once I've finished here. So I'm not going to be on here many more minutes because I don't want to bore you guys, but thank you. Let me you're cutting up scrap paper. Yeah, right. That's amazing as well, because I've got scrap paper I write all sorts of stuff down, because for me, it's like flashes coming in. So like when I put my things on, at the minute, I'm working my way, I'll give it a plug, but I'm working my way through the chapters of this book that I wrote. This was 3 years in the making. It's a pocket-sized book of what my thoughts is and how I process my thoughts. But those thoughts, it's not like I've finished with them. There's loads coming in. So I'll just write odd sentences down and things like that. Because one of the things I was thinking about this morning, I've not been to the gym for the last couple of weeks. So my mind instantly defended me, because I want to be forward thinking and promote upliftment and positivity. So my mind now has got into the habit of defending me. So it went, yeah, but you haven't had time because you've been busy. So I analysed that thought and I thought, right, let's just take that down into a mathematical formula. So I haven't been to the gym for 10 days. 10 times 24 hours is 240 hours. Take away the sleeping hours. So that's say 10 days times 8 hours. That's 80 hours. So we're coming down under the 150 hours there. Out of that 150 hours, there's your normal everyday routines that you've got to do, showering, going shopping, and all of the things. Maybe for some of you out there where you working hard. So let's take another 40, 50 hours there. We're down to 100 hours. 100 hours, take off maybe another 10 hours there for taking my dogs out, because I take my dogs out each day. I'm down to 90 hours. 90 hours that I could have gone to the gym at any point. So I've not let myself down, but I can't make excuses that I've been too busy. So when people say I can't do it, just have a look at where you're investing your life hours. That's just my advice. So if you've got a really, really busy head, the best thing is to start filling up bits of scrap paper with it. Get your thoughts in some sort of organisation. Get your planning in some sort of organisation. Split it down into things that you can actually practically do, things that you need to throw in the bin, and things that you need to apply your energies to, and then fill the bin up with all of the rest of the crap. I can't believe, though, that somebody's neatly wheelie bin. What have we come to? Alison Lett, thank you very much for coming on. Look, worldwide Wally, look, on board I am. I'm a worldwide Wally now. I'm reaching Canada. We're making it. Right, thanks, guys. Really appreciate it, tuning in. Right, Alison, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming in from Canada. The card I've drawn for you is the 4 of Swords. Now, this is a card that traditionally, because I had buck teeth as a kid, I struggled to wrap my teeth around it. The word is convalescence. And convalescence, roughly translated, is rest, taking time out. The swords are the matters of the mind and the intellect. So this is how you think, what occupies your time, what fills your headspace. So basically what I've just been talking about for the last couple of minutes. So what my guide is telling me there is, over the last 5 years, it has been a battle, one after the other, after the other, after the other. But because you're a strong-minded soul, what you've done is you just kept on going. It's almost like running through brick walls, running into steel. There's not an obstacle that slowed you down. That's great that if you've got that sort of fortitude about you, that you can keep going like that way. But the thing is, eventually we're going to run out of fuel. Now, I didn't heed warning signs when this was put to me. I just thought I could keep going forever. And then I ended up in bed for a week because I was actually mentally exhausted. I couldn't physically do what I wanted to do because I was wiped out. But I was determined to be that strong-minded person that people could come to. And I needed to take time out for myself, and I was reluctant to do that. So what this card is basically saying to you, take time out to rest. There's still other things that will occupy your thoughts and your times. Well, maybe it's just not the time to push on full force. Just take a step back and observe what you've been through. Take on that healing energies. Take time to refresh your mind and see where your advice and your guidance is coming in from. Is there somebody there that needs removing energetically from your life? Have we took too much advice and we've got overwhelmed with it? I'm being told to tell you, just every now and again, just go back to the drawing board and just make sure that the plans are on schedule. How are you going to do that? Well, the blue is all about communication, speaking your truth, and I'm all about that. Do I have any spirit messages? I don't know, do you? If you run out of requests, I'll happily have a card. Right, there we go. Let's go with that. I'm coming to the end of my time, so thank you very much for everybody tuning in, because I want to get in the habit of being more disciplined with timing, which is really one of my Achilles heels. So what I will do after this broadcast, you see, is the edit that will go on to share on the Facebook finally. I will take all of these idiotic comments off it, then block the responses going on there, and then it will share out, so that if anybody wants to look back at this sort of thing and gets an idea of how I work and wants to get in contact with me, then hopefully none of this rubbish will be on it. Right, so Mel, Ace of Pentacles, right, new ways. We had this conversation the other week, and this I think is just validating that the Ace of Pentacles is new ideas, new information on how you derive money. So an ace is just a thought, it's just a start. So it's information coming in. I mean, in the old days when these tarots first came about, it was like letters, phone calls and things like that. Obviously now we've got news 24 hours a day that can come in, text messages and all of that sort of thing. So it might even be in regard to your spiritual business. There are changes there that are potentially going to be far-reaching, but they all need sort of putting into order and having a look what works and your merchandising and things like that. But this is news that will help you along the way. So if you're putting out for more money, the request has been heard. It's one of those that as they come in, start to have a look through what suits you. You're a strong-minded lady, and that comes across loud and clear on the broadcast. So it'd be just like developing your own way of dealing with it. I wouldn't have leveled this at you, but I picked the card and it's come out there. So I don't know if I know that you've not been very well with a cold and things like that. But as I say, I wouldn't say I feel this around you, but just if the cards come out, it's just something to observe and look at. And when I take this card out, I always, well, up until a few months ago, always wanted to be this half of it, where I'm in the light and I'm strong. Everything's positive. Everything's okay. Don't worry about me. I don't need to say anything else. You've got far better things to do with your life than worry about any concerns that I've got. But this half of me is still there, still needs dealing with every now and again. With me, it relates around issues around self-worth. Now, and the thing is, if you've got a mindset like that, and I'm not saying you have, but if you've got a mindset like that, you have to work constantly on dealing with those things, because it doesn't matter how many times people on here or people come to me with the feedback and tell me I'm brilliant, I'm wonderful, I've helped change their lives, I've done this, that, and the other. If I don't believe it, like, they can say anything they like, but if I don't believe it, that's not going to change my energy one iota. So I find that a challenge, but it's a challenge that I'll rise to. So I'm not saying there's anything major going on with you, because you do not strike me in that way whatsoever, but just basically embrace all sides of your character, because they've made you what you are today. And they will also help draw people to you that will trust you, because you've learned from a place of discomfort or upset and things like that, and you've been successful and you've come through it. So I hope that makes a bit of sense for you, Mel. I've got loads and loads of comments, guys. Let me go. There we go. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I took redundancy in the prison service, and I was petrified. So I never say to you, go and do it, and it's an accurate prediction. But like with that one, when you've weighed it all up and you've decided it's the best decision, ultimately 10 years down the line with the prison service, there is part of me that still thinks that I should have stayed because of the stability. But like the missus was saying the other night, the payoff from it was not worth it. So I'm at this point now, I have my off days, but I'm at this point now where I've still got a roof over my head. We're still getting food in a belly, and things are reasonably settled. We all have difficulties in life, and I'm just grateful for having made that decision. But sometimes we have to be really, really pushed before we make those changes. Right. This is an honour for me. I hope she's still on because I don't know what the time that came in. Yeah. Oh, well, if she's not on, she'll have to smack me around the tabs when I see her at the end of the month for Chesterfield. All right, let me have a look what we've got. Right, Kirsty, if you're still on, because I'm not going to see the comments by the looks of it, because there's that many, they've gone through that quick. Right, if you're still on, there's the song, and I know when I first heard it, it wasn't the version that I've got going around in my head, because I believe that Ozzy Osbourne did a song called Changes with his daughter Kelly, going through changes, and it sounded really funny because Ozzy Osbourne sounded like quite mechanical with it. It was really weird, but it kind of worked in a mishmash way. But that is what is going on in my head at the moment. So there's something with you, and I know you're going to take the piss when I come out with this next comment, but about expansion and about hitting a wider audience. So I don't know what's going on with you and your business, because Kirsty is a fantastic medium. She sells out venues and things like that. I just get the sense that there's more coming in for you to lift you to that next level, and there's something there that you kind of clung on to as a comfort blanket. I'm feeling like it's another job or another business in the background. I know that you're a full-time worker and that you've got everything pretty much full, but I'm just being told to basically get tidied up and clear the decks of anything now that you're hanging on to for security. So it's almost like the spring clean aspect of it, that I need to sweep that area clear so that I can bring in some new stuff. Card-wise, my favourite card. That sums it up for me. Brilliant. So the way that I read the Tower card is about tearing down old structures that don't work for you anymore, not hanging on to crap just out of pride. And I always feel that when this guy leaps out of the window in his nakedness, at some stage he's going to land and he's going to be okay. He will be then facing up to the chaos of the building coming down, but not to get worried or agitated or stressed over it. Turn round, take some deep breaths, brush yourself off, dust yourself down, and then rebuild the tower in your own image. There's something there where I'm going to say to you where my therapist head's coming in as well, in regards to some sort of money transaction. Let the bugger go. I feel that you're right in something with it, but you're not going to get the answer that you're actually looking for. So there's a lot of agitation around this. It's upheaval, and it's sort of sitting in there, and it's playing around in my stomach area. So I'm just going, right, do you know, there are other things other than money, and I've took losses, even though that I think that ethically I shouldn't have done, but I value my own sort of peace of mind more than I do a pound coin. I truthfully do. So I'll just leave that with you. Hopefully it makes a bit of sense for you. But it was an honour to have actually read for you as well. Thank you for giving me that opportunity. Right, I'm just going to keep scrolling down because I've got stacks of comments that have come in. All right, I've got another one there. Look at that, Kim. Hopefully you're still here. So thank you very much for coming in. I can hear the kettle calling me. So let's see where we go. All right. Once again, thank you. Hit that like and subscribe button if you like what I do. Ignore the spammers and all of the wallies, because you know they're not worth anything. If they were that good, they'd do it for themselves, wouldn't they? So say thank you ever so much for tuning in. Right, Kim. I can't see on your profile, so I can't see whether you're male or female, so I apologise for that. But then I can't see out these bloody glasses because I've not cleaned them well enough. How do I structure that? Okay, thank you. I'm asking that. So you've got two cards that come out. The Queen of Pentacles, which is the lady of independent wealth and finances, and she's very practical and earthy, and she gets her money and she gets it sorted. So she knows what she's got, what she needs, and how she's going to bring these things into being. So the sense is with you that if you're a lady, and I realise that Kim is both male and female, that if you're a lady, it's using your feminine wiles and your feminine skills and your nurturing skills. And if you're a big butch geezer or a bloke, then just calming down that sort of testosterone bit and getting yourself more in that place where you nurture and you be a little bit more gentle with yourself, a little bit more understanding, a little bit more compassionate for your own needs. And the key word in my mind there is all about organization and putting yourself first for a little bit. So I don't know whether we need to be a little bit more selfish, giving your time away for free in something or another. Wouldn't get that lady to where she was. You know, the people there, and I need to say this to all of you guys that are out there that have got things out there where you can work spiritually, you do your healing. It is lovely to give a bit, right? But at the end of the day, remember that we've all got to eat. We've all got the practical life that we must take care of. And while you do things for free, you will have a queue a mile long. If people truly value you for what you're actually worth, they will be prepared to pay you. All right. I learned that the hard way at the beginning. I would not want to learn that lesson again. So now, if that's ever put at me that you've given yourself away, I will say this, that I chose to. I wasn't pressured to. You know, I do this, my payoff for this is promoting the channel and looking to get my numbers up. I know that off the back of these, that I will get a reading somewhere down the line, or that will lead me to something. So I did something recently that was 4 years in the making, because I had a conversation with somebody in Leeds 4 years ago, because that was the last time I did any readings in Leeds. And then they had a house party because they recommended me to somebody else. And then you go up there and the payoff comes from that. So what I'm saying, whatever it is with your skills that you're not charging with, that you're not utilizing the best, that you're giving something away too freely, it's just maybe time to start reining that in. You'll be all right. Stop worrying about family and all of the things being sort of in a place of upheaval. This is peace. This is calm. This is matters of the family being brought into the spotlight. It's a lovely card because it's like on a rainbow. It's completion. Start to trust your instinct a little bit more as well, whatever's going on about there. So this for me is about your spirituality. Trust your instinct before you get into a state of flapping or getting overwrought by things. Right, just take a step out of things when it's like things are being thrown at you and flying around. Just take some time to just cover that space around the navel area and just see what your spirit, what your intuition is telling you, because there's answers to be had. Change is coming for you over the longer term rather than saying it's coming in quick, but any changes need planning for, because if we're in a static place, then those changes can't be allowed to come in. So the thought I'm leaving you with on that one is the death card. The death card signifies endings, never literal death, but it means bringing things to a close. And if I put a full stop at the end of a sentence, that means that my next sentence can go anywhere I like. So your future is quite open at the moment. It's now time to start narrowing those pathways and looking at your focus on how you are going to bring this new life into being. Right, guys, I couldn't keep up with all of the comments. Thank you very much to have over 40 people on here. I'm absolutely chuffed to bits. Bearing with me while we've had people that have come on here for reasons unknown. You know, I will take advice and guidance from other people that know YouTube better. As I say, I'm looking at doing more work on YouTube and less on Facebook, but I won't forget the people that have supported me all the way through. So to guarantee seeing me on here doing these free readings on a Monday night, because I'm going to do my best, unless I'm out somewhere, to do these regularly and get a regular time in place, then subscribe and like my channel. Look at the community side where I put out the announcements that I'm going to do, and just keep being the amazing, wonderful, supportive people that you are. For those that I've reached tonight, thank you. I appreciate that. For those that have looked at me and thought, my God, what's going on there? Thanks for coming in and giving me a chance. That's all I ask with people. And if you can have a thought of your own that you've molded my thoughts round in some way or another, and it's helped you see things from a different perspective, I come from a place of gratitude. My buzz line, my tagline, whatever you want to call it, is desire to inspire, and that's what I aim to do every single time that I interact with you on a live. So from my spirit to your spirit, guys, I hope you have a fantastic week and beyond. Any healing that is needed is being sent out to you. Much love to you all. Thank you and good night.